Welcome to the BackSpace Academy AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Level course. In this short video, I'm just going to go through exactly how the course works and the features of the course and how you can get the most out of the course. So the first thing you want to do is to go into My Courses, and that will show the enrolled courses for you. So the option there you want to start with is a course start course. So that will go through the course material, which consists of AWS Reference Material. It'll have hands-on exercises, lesson review tests, and we also have some quite complex detailed lab videos. The next option there is the practice exam, and so that is a practice exam that will test your knowledge at the end of the course. And you can sit that practice exam as many times as you want, and every time you sit that practice exam you'll be getting a different exam because it'll be pulling questions from a pool of well over 800 questions. So we start in the course. So the course is made up of many subjects, and each one of those subjects has many lessons inside the course. So we start the lessons, we start the subjects off with the AWS Reference Material. The reason we do that is because everything that you need for certification comes from the AWS Reference Material. And if you don't know that very well, it's going to be very difficult for you to pass the certification. So the problem with the AWS material is it is so good, the documentation is so thorough, and the amount of excellent videos and webinars and masterclasses that are out there is just sensational. The problem is that there's literally thousands of them out there, and they're all great, but unfortunately you only need to know a certain number of those to pass the associate level course. So what we've done is we've identified the key parts of that vast offering of reference material. We've identified those for you. We've provided the links directly to that material and what sections of that material you need to study. So once you've done that, then along the way we have hands-on exercise that are really going to give you that kind of hands-on knowledge that you need, as well as understanding of that reference material. So putting your hands on the services is just as important as studying the reference material. Each lesson will have a review test at the end of it. So what we do is we'll present a number of questions there, and we'll give you answers to those questions, and where applicable we give you explanations as to why you went wrong. If you're not getting 100% on those review tests, you obviously have not studied the reference material good enough, so you need to go back and study that reference material. So we test you at every step of the way. So we're not just getting you to go through the course and then test you at the end of the course. We're reinforcing that knowledge and making sure that you don't move on until you've thoroughly understood those questions and where you're going wrong in those questions if you are going wrong. And another very important part of the course is that we have our own detailed lab videos, the BackSpace Academy videos, and they go into specific use cases that you would expect as a solutions architect. And the major lab is at the end of the course in the architecture design pattern section of the course, and that will go through a number of very good in-depth videos on a complex architecture inside of VPC. And that will have a lot of resources there that you'll be using. You'll be using elastic load balancing, auto scaling, RDS Aurora, and public and private subnets, and different availability zones, and a whole heap of stuff there that you need to understand and understand fully to pass certification. It is expected after you've followed those videos to implement that yourself. So to help you along the way with that, we have a very good document there that we have for that lab, and that is a document that's over 50 pages long, so quite a comprehensive document that has some really good diagrams and shows you every step of the way how to go through and achieve what you need to achieve as a solutions architect. So once you've gone through the course, you've done the detailed labs, you fully understand it, it's time now to test your knowledge and see whether you're up to it for a certification. So go back to the My Courses page, click on Practice Exam, and you'll be presented with a practice exam. So that exam is designed to be very similar to the AWS certification exam. And each time you sit that practice exam, it will be a different exam with a different set of questions. And that's because that will be pulled from a pool of questions of well over 800 questions. So it's a very good resource. It'll give you feedback there of where you went wrong. And so it'll allow you to go back to your reference material and study that a little bit further to get better knowledge until you're getting up around about 90% for these practice exams, and you'll get better and better as you go through this process. So you want to get up to that sort of level and you want to make sure that you're fully prepared, because these certification exams by AWS, they're difficult and they're expensive. So you don't want to fail them. If you fail them, you have to wait a significant amount of time to resit them, and it just gets more and more difficult if you do fail it the first time. So I thoroughly recommend that you make sure that you're scoring very, very high on the practice exams before you go and do the certification exam. Another good resource is the BackSpace Academy blog, where we notify you of any changes to the certification courses, and we also notify you of any changes to the AWS service offering. And this is quite important because the AWS services do change on a regular basis, and sometimes it can change on a daily basis. And it's these changes that, if you're not aware of, that AWS will tend to put on the certification exam. So if you're working from outdated material or outdated exam dumps or whatever, it's not going to do you any value. So you need to really keep an eye on the BackSpace blog and make sure that you're fully aware of all the updates. We change our exam questions and our reference material to reflect any changes in the AWS services. The other thing we do there is we also have tutorials that may not necessarily be related to the certification program, but also quite useful for general use cases that you may encounter. So a good resource there is the BackSpace Academy blog to keep an eye on. You can subscribe to that for email updates as well, so keep you on top of things. So the other resource we've got there is the BackSpace forum. So if you have a problem and you have a question that you want asked, just post it on the forum. We won't publish that straight away, but we will respond to it immediately, and we'll answer your question for you and get you on your way. If it's a question that other members could benefit from, we will publish that on the forum for other members to see. So another good resource there. If you run into any difficulty, go to the forum. So welcome aboard, and I look forward to seeing you progress through the course and getting that much deserved AWS certification.